while I was vacuuming my living room, I had a vision of two huge suns suspended out of the sky in front of my window. And that led me to the steps of the Roman Catholic Church. I started talking to someone across the world.
My name is Nicola, and I am 46 years old. I live with my mom.
Because of his faith, Nicola is celibate until marriage, and so that leaves him a 46-year-old virgin.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're talking about some newcomers, Misha and Nikola. Misha is an ex-on-screen journalist who is now a devout Catholic after a crazy, random,
psychotic break
vision she had in her living room.
Of two huge suns suspended out of the sky in front of my window.
You're a little bit crazy.
She said she wasn't sure what happened first. She thought she may have even had a heart attack or she was dying, but then she said she heard a voice to pray, and this led her down the road to her now becoming a Catholic and even devoting her life and livelihood to the Catholic Church. With her job, she actually lived a pretty glamorous lifestyle.
I was the fun party girl at the bar and going out all the time. I had a lot of friends, and it was a blast.
Going out all the time, flying everywhere. She even said on a first date one time, a man brought a helicopter.
Usually they were handsome men. People were really, really successful, and when they took you out on a date, they would really do it up.
You're so fancy.
But she gave all that up and has met someone just as devout, if not more devout than her.
My name is Nicola, and I am 46 years old. I live with my mom.
Okay then.
What about Nikola is a man.
Are you sure about that?
I mean, he's a man. He just doesn't do anything else. He just lives at home and he runs a Catholic website.
This is my website. It's a traditional Catholic novenas. I have almost 500,000 visitors in the website per month.
That's impressive.
People forgot the novena, so I'm trying to return it back to every Catholic house. That's my mission.
When I first saw this, I thought he made probably some money off of that, you know? But according to his friend, no, he's just home with his mom praying to Mary.
بيشتغلش المفلس القاعد اللي فيش إشي يعمله بس إنه يصلي بغرفته قدام العذراء. تيجي واحدة زي ميشا تقول له بحبك وبدي إياك
You know, he has a point.
Let me backtrack a little bit. They met, of course, online. She was making a lot of posts about her finding God and I guess wanting some help and some guidance in her new religion and newfound faith. And he reached out to her.
So when Misha responded,
I was just very, very surprised.
Nicola, I need Jesus more in my life, and you will be my Jesus boy.
What?
This is where the connection starts.
And he offered that, and they actually talked for quite a few years online. And even though they were pretty consistent about it, it took them a while to admit that they had real feelings for each other.
It took us years to admit to one another that we had feelings for each other.
So they've actually been communicating for over 7 years.
Between that and COVID, it's been 7 years that we've never met.
And now she is planning on heading over to Israel to hopefully get engaged by the end of the trip. So, of course, nothing can be smooth sailing on this show, can it?
That would not be fun.
One of their problems already is that she is actually previously divorced.
I fell in love with a foreign exchange student in high school. I was married to him when I was 22 years old. Unfortunately, the marriage did not last.
And they would want to get married in the Catholic Church, of course, which doesn't allow divorce, so they wouldn't marry them. Well, at least her church wouldn't. I feel like there are other churches, other Catholic churches out there who would be cool with it. I only know that from personal experience from my family's church, who's married people. They even married a cousin of mine who's lesbian, so.
That was cool.
I think it just depends on which church you go to and what they allow and what they don't allow, but I imagine she wants to get married in the church that she works for. Anyway, that's just my personal experience. I don't know a lot about the Catholic Church, so
What am I talking about?
I'm just going off what the little bit I know. But because of this divorce, she wants to get an annulment granted, and she had to go to a meeting for it.
The interview itself was actually like really intense. Like, these people are going to determine forever the rest of my future.
And I'm just curious how she expects to get this annulment, because it has to be deemed that the marriage was not legit, essentially.
In order to get an annulment, there is special criteria that the church looks at to make sure that first marriage was not a valid marriage.
Good luck with that.
They had 2 kids together, and I don't know exactly how long they were married, but I think it was a decent amount of time. So it's kind of bold to be married possibly like quite a few years and have a couple children together and then to try and get an annulment. So
I don't think that's gonna work.
But again, I don't know how any of that works. This is just what I heard. In fact, if there is any like legit Catholics, devout Catholics who know how this process works, let me know down in the comments. I love learning from y'all.
You teach me your ways?
Nicola tells us about how he actually wasn't raised a devout Catholic or really in the church. His grandmother was. She was actually a nun. I'm assuming she became a nun later in life. But because of this faith that he has adopted from his grandmother, he is actually a virgin. He is waiting to get married. So yes, he is a 40-year-old virgin. Well, 46-year-old virgin.
Because of his faith, Nicola is celibate until marriage, and so that leaves him a 46-year-old virgin.
And now I am making your silver pants blue.
And he says his mom, he knows, will not be happy that he is going to marry a divorced woman or wants to marry a divorced woman.
أكيد أمي مش رح يعجبها ميشا. عشان هيك ولا بحكي لأمي.
And I just find that so interesting because she's not really religious. She would want him to marry a virgin, and it's like, he's lucky that this woman is looking his way.
Be grateful.
You know, he's in a whole other country. He has no job. He's a virgin. He has no experience. And she wants to bring him over and have him be her husband.
This might be crazy.
Like, you should be kissing this woman's feet and thanking her. Speaking of him being a virgin, that is a point of concern on Misha's part.
It makes me worry knowing that I need certain things like affection, a lot of affection.
If you know what I mean.
She didn't really want to say that it really was, but she's like, it is. I'm just gonna have to see how we are without that, because obviously they're not going to have sex until after they are married. Another issue is Misha's daughters. They are older. I guess they look about teenagers, and they live in the house with her. So they, of course, are concerned about her bringing him into the home because they don't really have a great relationship with him. It's very awkward, and he kind of tries to push their religion onto him. And Misha is pretty respectful of letting them believe what they want to believe, and they're worried that he won't be.
Would we be like judged for, the things we do?
I mean, yeah, probably.
Like, what if me and Svea get a boyfriend, and would that ever be an issue?
Most definitely.
Which is a valid concern. Like, religion is not something that should be pushed or shoved onto anybody. Honestly, I'm very interested in this couple and see how this is gonna go and see what their dynamic is together. According to them, they can't stop talking. They were texting all night long, and they've been like this for years.
To talk every day for maybe 10 hours. I even didn't go to sleep. I think I got anosmia because of Misha.
And we did see a little video chat between the two of them, and they seemed okay. They seemed like friends, really, which is good. So, but it's definitely going to be interesting to see what their actual chemistry is together.
It does not look good.
But anyway, that is all I have for you guys today. Let me know what you think. Is this gonna crash and burn? I feel like this could go either way. Like either this could be a great match or it's just gonna crash. Like I don't think there's gonna be really any in between for these guys. I do think it is going to be a problem with him not working. Like maybe she plans on getting him a job at the church that she works at now. I mean, I'm sure she has plenty of money from her job from before, so she probably would be fine financially. But if you're constantly feeling like you have to carry someone, that could become an issue, especially if they're going to kind of follow a lot of those rules where the man is the head of the household and he makes all the decisions, and it's like, well, honey, sure, you make the decisions, but I make the money, so who's really the man of the household? Anyway, I'm babbling. Y'all just let me know what you think. Thank you for watching the video and making it this far. I will catch you in the next one. Bye.
In case I don't see ya. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.